Hey everyone, my name is Johnny5Alive and welcome to a Marvel Midnight Sun video where I'm going to show you guys how to min-max exactly the mods you want for the least amount of resources possible without aimlessly just smashing the re-roll button over and over and over again, hoping that you get what you're looking for. There's actually a strategic method to do this, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that here today. And as you can see on my 100 cards, I have what I need on these. On free cards, draw the last attack played, and then on quick cards, draw a hero card. On my patience, I have quick, making a heavy hitter card like this basically free because it's going to kill anything it hits, and quick refunds its play. And I've done this for pretty much all of my heroes. They're all min-maxed almost, and I'm going to have an entire series on the channel if you guys would like to see my builds, what I did for what heroes and why. We'll do a whole different series for that, so subscribe and then tune in. The series is going to start right after this video. I figured it's going to be important to show you guys how I min-max for that video series. If you guys are wondering how I achieved that, this video will be here as a resource. A lot of my abilities have exactly what they want, and I did it with the least amount of resources possible. So how do you go about re-rolling something here at the station and getting exactly what you're looking for, such as we could just start rolling on an item, and how can you determine that you're going to get what you want? I know I want free on Chaos Reigns. That's the last card I need to complete my Scarlet build. And I could just sit here aimlessly re-rolling, hoping that the choice comes up, right? Well, that's not the best method of doing it, because you're going to spend a lot of resources, you're going to run out of credits, and then you're going to have to just keep trying and trying and trying and trying. So where do we start and why? Let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want under your resources is you're going to have enough resources banked up. Specifically, legendary blueprints, especially if you're going for those coveted modded legendary abilities that are modded. But most importantly, you can salvage these into 2 purple and salvage 2 purples into 4 blues and salvage 4 blues into 8 commons. And that is where this is going to help out a ton. So the more legendary blueprints you have, every 1 legendary blueprint is effectively 8 common blueprints. So the more of these you have, the better, because it allows us to skip and bypass rolls entirely, saving you tons and tons and tons of credits, as credits take probably the longest to farm up. And for the purpose of this video, I only have 700 credits, but I do recommend you have at least 2,000. And then obviously you're going to want a hefty amount of essences. You really only need 2,000 of each, maybe even less. So go ahead, farm yourself up 2,000 credits, get yourself a stockpile of legendary blueprints, and you should be pretty much good to go. So now that's everything you need to get started. Let's jump into the nerdy stuff. What we're looking at here is something that I built using Google Sheets, and I will have a link to this down in the description below. It will be read only. So when you come here, you won't be able to edit any of this, but what you can do is you can go file, make a copy. And once you make a copy, it is yours to edit. And what you'll be able to do is come in here and clear out all of the stuff that I've put down just in these columns so that you can make your own checklist. So what this checklist is telling me is I have gotten these mods. So just so you understand what you're looking at here, we have Blade, Captain America, Captain Marvel, and so on. Each of the 12 heroes are listed out in these 12 blocks. The rarity is here on the left. So we have 4 commons, 3 rares, 2 epics, 1 legendary. These are the character's abilities. And for my build, what I've decided is these are the numbers of how much I want to make a total of 8 to complete the build. This will help you theory craft. And then there's the ability name, the heroism generation. So this generates 2, and this costs 2. So red is the cost, green is the generation, and then it says the type. So this here, Make 'em Bleed, is a skill that draws 2 hero cards, and I'm pretty sure you'll be familiar with these abilities by now anyways. Then on this column is what I use to theory craft. I figured I would want some cards, such as skill cards, can be made free unless they draw cards. So you cannot make a card that draws cards free, and you cannot make a free card draw cards. There are certain exceptions to the rules when modifying. With that said, here's a link to the wiki. This will also be down in the description below. It explains some of these rules, like if a card has draw, it cannot get free. And it also shows you what kind of mods you can roll on certain abilities. If you just want to have a look through this, you can, realize the potential. Oh, I can get my single target card card to draw 2 cards on KO. There's tons of fun things you can do here, and you know, you're really looking for the coveted quick. Turning a heroic card into a quick card is insane, because if it kills them, you get the card play refunded, putting less pressure on having to mark enemies with a mark support character, and so on and so forth. Another big coveted one is the free card. You're going to want to make a lot of your skills free. Now, these free and quick, as well as plus 50% damage, are some of the hardest attributes in the game to roll. They're the rarest. I would call them legendary rarity, and I'm going to show you guys in this video how you can get 50% more damage, free and quick, with very few resources spent. Other things such as like just applying 1 bleed or applying 1 mark, those are pretty common, and you probably shouldn't have much trouble getting those onto your cards. But the methods I'm going to show you here today will help you do that for cheaper. So going back to our sheet here, I've put kind of like a theory craft of what things I thought would go good on the cards that I wanted, and then I started checking them off when I got them. But it's good to have a checklist here. Why? Because when we come across a mod that says free, we're going to want to know who we're going to use that on. And if I come across a mod that says quick, I want to know who I'm going to use that on. I've pretty much got all the frees and all the quicks that I want, other than an extra quick just for funsies on my kick for magic. So there's certain things here and there that I'm looking for, and this checklist on a second monitor is going to help me realize, oh, I still need a free on my Captain America's dig in ability. And this, you know, lets you know what you have available, and it's super helpful early on when you have everything available to you and you're coming across those more common things like bleeds and draw hero cards, 1 vulnerability, things like that. Stuff that are a little bit more common, you're going to be able to figure out which character you could put it on as quickly as possible. So let's talk about the seeds. It's good. I have sheet 2 here, and you could use this on the same form to help you play with the seeds. The best way I could describe rolling, as you guys know, when you roll a card, you get 2 choices. So we have choice 1 and choice 2. These are going to be the same, but categorized across all cards, all card types, and all heroes. So in the case that we roll and we get choice 1 and choice 2 on, say, Quick Blast for Iron Man, those 2 choices might be different if we pick a skill card for any other character, because some choices, as you can see on the wiki, only appear on attack cards, and they're different choices for skill cards. But if we roll the first choice on, say, Quick Punch for Captain America, those 2 choices might be the same as Quick Blast for Captain America, or slightly different, because the pool of choices extends a little bit larger. So it could be any one of these several choices that it's pulling from, but the reason it might be the same is because it might just RNG and pull the exact same 2 choices from the same seed. The important thing to know here is that the seed is the same across everything in terms of rarity. So if you're seeing a free card show up later on in the seed on your 9th roll, there's a good chance it could be +1 move, it could be 1 strengthened, and it could be many other really good choices. So when you do see +1 move, if you re-roll on a different hero's card, you might get a different option, which would be then free. If you already got +1 move on that card, it will be guaranteed to be free. So when you're rolling, it's important to do some samples of different ability types. So we could try some samples, and this is why you want like 2,000 credits available, because as I'm counting through and I come across something nice and I see, oh, look, this is quick on choice 5, or maybe I see +2 heroism, or I see +50% damage here on a particular ability, the chances of me rolling that on the actual ability that I need it on are pretty high, because the rarity cards have smaller pools. So if this seems a little confusing, let's go put it into action so you can understand why I have these columns and why it's good to have a notepad like this. So we come over to the mod station here, and we're gonna pick Scarlet Witch, because one of the abilities I'm looking for is free. I want free on her Chaos Reigns, and that will pretty much complete my build. So let's see how many rolls it takes to find free, and if we don't find it at all, we'll just move on to a different card and see if we have better options. So roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, And there it is. The reason this already had +1 move is because I saw +1 move at one point and decided to keep it. Because when you're looking for free, I've found that most of the time it can only roll one +1 move or free. So if you already have move on it, it can only roll free from there. It has to roll free. So if you ever see +1 move, take it. Absolutely take it, because the next time you see +1 move, it would actually be listed as free. So this was our 9th roll, if I remember correctly. So this is our Chaos Reigns ability, and we saw free on the 9th seed. Right? We had like 800 credits roughly, and now we only have 300, just under 300. So we could just leave it there and say, whatever, I paid 500 credits to get the free ability that I was looking for. But that's not super efficient. You're gonna have to go farm 2, 3, 4, 5 more missions to get those credits back, and it's gonna become a very, very grindy process. I can show you guys how to get that Chaos Reigns for less than 100 credits, and that's what we're gonna do so that we can get multiple abilities for the amount of credits that we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and reload our save. Always good to hotkey your quick save and quick load. I have mine set to F5 and F9, and that's going to help with this process, and also having the game saved on an SSD will help. Now, what we want to do is check the seed pool for a different type of ability, because if there's anything good along the way up to the 9th choice, which we found being our amazing coveted free, we don't want to miss out on those options on the way up to 9. And one thing I forgot to mention is on a brand new card that hasn't been rolled yet, such as this one, the first choice is never a part of the seed pool. It is a predetermined choice that's been attached to the card on the creation of the card or on the acquisition of the card from a coil. So if you see something really nice on the first choice, like a super rare choice, like say we roll this and we get free or we get quick or something on one of these cards that haven't been rolled, that doesn't apply to other cards because it's been attached to this card on this card's creation or acquisition. So that is the only time that the rule is different, but the seed, the rarity of the seed beyond the first roll will be across all cards equally. So for example, I'm looking for plus 50% damage for my Fists of Radiance card. This choice here, 25% offense, even though that's like a somewhat common choice, it was predetermined and pre-attached to this card. So no matter how much I advanced the seed or came to this card later, these two choices will always be the same. Just letting you guys know that. But even though we picked that choice, we still advanced the seed by 1. So if the first roll was a good choice or something else, we bypassed it. So now we could just sit here and roll this card to see if anything nice comes up. If you're looking for that 1 bleed, we just came across that on our second roll. That's our 3rd roll, or was that 5th roll, sorry. 6th, 7, 8, 9. So now look at this. This is the 9th seed. Instead of getting free, we got quick. So we've confirmed that the 9th seed in the list, which got us free on our Chaos Reigns, would also get us quick on our Fists of Radiance. So it's basically a legendary seed on the 9th roll down across all cards. So this could give you different results on different cards, but if you're looking for quick or you're looking for free, you now have to make a decision. I could reload my game and pick almost any card that I'm looking for, and there's a good chance I'll get what I'm looking for. So now we know that there's really nothing along the way from 1 to 9 that we're looking for on these two cards. So we can come back and put quick here for Fists of Radiance. And we know that this 9th seed is effectively a legendary seed. But I still need some more somewhat rare mods, and there's a chance that they might show up between 1 and 9. One of the cards that I'm looking for on Wolverine is draw hero card on my quick swipe. So we're going to uncover the predetermined roll, but that still counts as advancing the seed. 2, 3, 4. Gain counter on KO is quite nice on certain characters like Captain Marvel, Captain America. 5. Draw a card on KO. Not what I'm looking for, but not bad. 6, 7, 8. Now here we go. We're going up on the 9th seed, the legendary seed. What will the legendary seed give us for a quick attack card? Gain conceal on KO. And that's also a very important one. If you guys ever come across gain conceal on KO, you know if you re-roll on a different card, there's a good chance it'll become free or quick. quick. So this gain conceal on KO should be a red flag to you. An alert should go off. Hey, if I go re-roll on a different card, I should get a, because gain conceal on KO is technically a legendary stat, and it's in the same roll pool as quick and free. So we're not looking for that. And we're gonna reload one last time because I'm thinking I might find something that I'm looking for on my Spider-Man. I want 2 mark on my second web throw. So let's go see. There's 1 mark, 2, 3, 4. Strengthened on KO as the 4th choice. We also saw in the 4th choice on Wolverine's quick attack that it was gain counter on KO. So if you ever see gain counter on KO, you know that gained 1 strengthened on KO is in the same pool choice. So there should be a red flag when you see gain counter on KO, because that could be a potential gain 1 strengthened on KO for one of your other characters. This is a very highly coveted, this is probably more in the rare section. Gaining a strength on a quick attack card where you get the card play refunded and now your character's hitting for 50% more damage is insane. And I definitely put strengthened on KO on a lot of my quick cards for a lot of my heroes. So we know that the 4th seed now is actually a really good choice that we could be taking advantage of for one of our other heroes, or using it right here. However, with the quick swipe option on Wolverine, we ended up getting the counter option. So today the RNG is not on our favor for Wolverine, even though I would like the 1 strengthened on his quick attack card. What I could do is take the counter on his 4th choice, and then next time I come across counter, it pretty much has to be gain strengthened. So it'll increase my odds of getting it in the future. So that is something I can do with that option if I so choose. And that is exactly how I get some of these mods so easily, because I take the other options within those categories to ensure that the actual option I'm looking for is forced to roll the next time around. So from the 4 samples that we did here, we didn't really sample any skill cards, but that's okay. We discovered that Chaos Reigns does get the free. We discovered that Fists of Radiance does get quick. We discovered that Quick Slash on Wolverine gets gain counter on KO. And in the future, if we came across that choice again, it would be forced to be 1 strengthened on KO, which is exactly what I want for my Wolverine. So I might actually take this option, and then that'll increase my chances of getting this in the future. But if there was a card that we needed 1 strengthened on KO, we could go test it on that card. And that 4th seed we've confirmed is effectively somewhat of like a rare seed. We could call this like an epic seed or something like that. So through our sampling, you know, we didn't see anything significant here, but trying it out on different cards, we did see something significant here. And that is why you want to sample multiple abilities. And I bet if we went to like a skill card, we might see something nice on either of these 2 options as well, such as draw 2 cards, gain 2 heroism, free, that sort of thing. But I'm pretty happy with these choices. So our options are: we just spend the money to roll to this, and then we just spend the money to roll to this. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it for cheaper. We know when we uncover a card that the first 2 choices are predetermined attached to that card. So you always need 1 seed roll to uncover the predetermined seed choice for a card, and then you can skip using card crafting. So if I wanted to do this the most effectively, I'm going to craft 2 cards to skip 2 seeds. Then I'm going to uncover the hidden choice under the card, and that will advance it 1 more seed. And then on the second roll, only the second roll ever on a card, I will get that gain counter on KO. From there, I go craft 3 more cards. Then I uncover the hidden choice on Chaos Reigns. That will advance the seed 1 more time. And then on the second choice ever on Chaos Reigns, I'm getting free. So I'm only ever going to re-roll Chaos Reigns twice, and then I'm going to do my Quick Slash twice. And that means I've only spent credits 2 times, and then everything in between, we're crafting cards to skip seeds. So let me show you that in real time. Now, the one important thing you need to know, you cannot skip seeds by opening up coils. Whenever the coils are generated, it seems to either advance the seed or scramble the seed entirely. So if you've gone ahead and checked the samples of 9 to 20 different cards and there's like absolutely nothing in there and it's complete garbage choices, and you've tested on 4 different cards and you just saw nothing good in the future potential of the rolls, you could just go run missions and it'll either advance the seed or scramble the seed. I haven't really quite figured that out because it's kind of hard to test. But I definitely, when I run missions and I go check the seed pool again on a couple different cards, I've noticed different results. So it either scrambles it or it advances it. But when the gamma coils pile up, you can't just open them to advance the seed. When the coil is added to the game, it's already pushed the seed forward. So if I had a bunch of gamma coils sitting here, which I did, opening them up has no effect on those 9 choices that we just saw. However, when you have gamma coils sitting here, it does, for whatever reason, it screws up the ability to advance the seed when crafting cards. So the important thing to take from what I just said here is make sure you have no gamma coils available. And now that we have none available, we can go ahead and dismantle a couple blueprints here. So we're just gonna smash a couple of our legendary blueprints. At this point, if you have all the cards you want in the game, the only thing you're gonna need is legendary blueprints for re-rolling mods on legendary cards. But look how many common blueprints we crafted from just, you know, a couple of blueprints there. Now, when we go to ability crafting, whatever card we craft is going to advance the seed. So with Wolverine here, we're looking to, you don't have to pick the card, but I just tend to do it because I'm OCD. I also tend to do it based off of whatever essences I'm lowest on. So I'm the lowest on purple essences. When I craft this, it only costs 10 essences, but when I dismantle it, I'll get 40 back. So you're basically converting 1 blueprint into 30 attack essences, and you're advancing the seed by 1. So if we craft 2 cards here, we've effectively advanced the seed by 2, and we needed to get to 4. Right? So we just bypassed 2 rerolls. We didn't have to pay for those rerolls. Instead, we crafted 2 cards for basically nothing. Used 0 credits. So we've done 2 rerolls at this point by crafting 2 cards. Now, when we go to we need to get to the 4th seed. This is going to uncover the hidden choice. So these were predetermined. And the 4th seed is the rare seed or the epic seed that we were looking for. And this should be our gain counter on KO. There it is. Now that we have gain counter on KO, the next time we come across this, it's guaranteed to be 1 strengthened on KO. So now that's there in place for me when I want to do seed sampling in the future, and it's just going to make things easier for me to get what I want. So I'm pretty happy with that now. I could pretty much quick save my game if I want, just to be sure. But now we're ahead on the seed. We're 4 down, and the 9th choice is what we wanted. So for the free on our other card. So what we could do here is we could go into our crafting, and we were, yeah, I'm just gonna stick to it with the attack essences. So this is gonna be our 5th seed, our 6th seed, our 7th seed, and we need the 8th to uncover the card seed, and our 9th should be the free one. And that way we've just skipped 3 of the seeds, 3 of the rerolls without spending any credits. And now when we go to our mods, we're going to uncover the choice. That was our 8th reroll, and this one should give us free. There it is. So you see what we did there? To summarize it, we sampled from 9 rolls on 4 different cards. We found an epic option, a legendary option, and we saw what cards we wanted to get those on. Then we minimized the amount it cost to actually roll to them and saved ourselves a boatload of credits, because as you guys saw, it would have brought us down to 200 credits just re-rolling to those cards, those choices, and we're still left off with 700 basically. So we've effectively saved ourselves like 400 credits simply by crafting cards using our common blueprints to skip rolls. And that is like way more effective, so cheap, just way more efficient, and it's going to save you a ton of credits. If you're sitting on 2,000-3,000 credits, you can effectively look 10 or 20 seeds ahead, mark which points are good. Maybe it's the 7th roll and the 14th roll. Now you go craft 5 cards, uncover, boom, you got the 7th roll, go craft 5 more cards, boom, uncover the last roll, roll it in, get it, and you've only had to do 4 re-rolls to get through 14 re-rolls worth of options, saving yourself hundreds if not thousands of credits. And then your 14 seeds into the seed pool, you can now save your game. You've used only a couple hundred credits, 200-300 credits at most. You're still sitting on 2,000-3,000 credits, and now you can go check 10-20 seeds ahead again and discover what new options you have available to you. And if you don't see anything good on 3-4 different card choices in the next 20 rolls, then you just have a really bad seed pool for the next 20 rolls. There's no point in crafting 20 cards just to get 20 more seeds ahead. Just simply go run a few missions so it scrambles the seed and pushes the seed ahead, and in the process you'll get more materials to make it easier for when you sit down the next time. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I try to explain that as best as I could. I'm gonna add this into the video, and I wanted to show you guys how I would treat the same method for legendary blueprints. So once you have a stockpile of legendary blueprints, I think I have about 20 here. One of the mods that I'm searching for on Supernova is the 50% increased offense. So this will increase her damage based off of her current offense. So as I'm looking ahead using my legendary blueprints, I can look 20 steps ahead into the seeds because I have so many stockpiled. And this is definitely important when looking ahead on legendary blueprints because it's definitely less certain what is going to roll. And there we have it. And I believe this was the 11th roll if I calculated that right before this recording. So what we want to do now is craft 9 cards. I'm going to go ahead and craft skill cards because that's what I'm lowest on in terms of essences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 should be enough. Now we head back up to the ability modding station. The 10th roll is going to uncover what's already there. And the 11th should be my damage. There it is. So as you can see, I just got plus 50% offense on Supernova for the cost of only 2 legendary blueprints. And that's going to save you tons and tons of time farming legendary blueprints. If you like how this went and how I showed you guys how I achieved these mods, if you found that helpful in any way, please do subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer any questions. And then tune back in so I can show you guys my best in slot builds for all of my different heroes and what I use and why, and what I found out of experimentation works for each of these heroes to bring them to their best potential. So that'll be a whole separate series. I think I covered everything I wanted to in this video in terms of re-rolling. Hopefully you guys found the seeds not too confusing and could understand that. I showed you guys the best way I know possible. And one final look, here's my Excel sheet if you guys need it. There's going to be a link down in the description below for this here form, and it might help you just keep track of what mods you're still looking for and what mods you're aiming for, and then you can kind of check them off as you go. And then on sheet 2 at the bottom here, you can do your seeds on this page, whatever you're testing out, to see where your kind of epic and legendary seeds are. And I found that to be super helpful. Just these 2 things alone made the modding process go insanely quick. I've been playing the end game for just a few days now, and I've basically got every single mod that I want on every single hero in the game with relative ease. So don't bore yourself by grinding hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of missions when you can do it all. You can get a whole hero done in just a handful of missions if you stretch your resources out by using the common blueprints to skip you ahead in the rolls. So there's definitely a science to it. Hopefully that science was explained somewhat well for you here today. If it was, please sure to leave a like or drop a comment if you're confused, and I'll be sure to help you out here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm Johnny5Alive, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.